So we know we're gonna change from the end to the inner tie rod and boot. We're gonna change all that, so we don't care if we're gonna damage some of this stuff because we're gonna be changing it. So let's get started. First thing we do is we're gonna have to turn the wheel to the left. So yeah, that's all the way to the left, and we get to see the inside clamp, and then this clamp right here, we're gonna take those out. All right, taking this boot clamp inside is use the longest pry bar you can have, or a screwdriver. Just gonna have to jam it in there and push that clamp out using a hammer. There we go. And of course, there's liquids inside in there. It's just really bad. Over. Alright, what we'll have to do next is this tabs are here. You have to bend that forward, like bend it towards the vehicle, so we could take out this inner tie rod. So basically, here's a new one. There's a little lock washer. This is bend this way, so we have to bend it that way to, like, you know, take out the washer. You get to use the long pry bar again and hit it with the hammer. This is gonna be damaged, but we're putting a new one in. Down at the bottom. Now we're gonna put a wrench here, and we'll take out that inner rod and then just give a little bit of kick. Alright, so she's loose now, so let's take that out. Give this a little bit of clean, just wipe off the dirt and dust. So let's go look at the old compared to the new. So it's like that. We had to thread this in exactly to the old one. All right, we're gonna assemble this. We're gonna trying to get the new one assembled before we're gonna install. So first, take out the jam nut. Put the boot. The boot on this left and right are different. So this, I can tell this is the driver's side because it's the same with the old one. And then the left side is different. It has this little flat edge on the one side here. There's no flex. It's just flat. So that's the passenger side. So we're gonna assemble this. First, we're gonna put the boot in. Washer, we'll put the washer later when we install it on the rack. But for now, this is all for now. We're gonna put the new clamp. It comes with a clamp. Put the jam nut on there. What I do sometimes is I put this anti-seize lubricant, so that next time or people wants to do wheel alignment or trying to change this part, it's easy to come off. Not like that one. Trying to take that one off, it just seized up in there. He won't budge. Trying to heat it up too, see if it cracked the rust out, but it still won't budge. So now we're gonna put the anti-seize in here. A little dab. Thread her in the outer rod. Line up the edge there and line it up from the one on the tie rod. That's lined up. This should be lined up. That's it. Now this is ready to go, ready to install. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so this slot right there has to line up that 2 inside tabs. Okay. Alright, it catch now. When it catch like that, line up your washer. Hold the washer while you're spinning it. Yeah, I think that's good. Make sure that the washer is not crooked, it's flush with the rack to the inner rod. Now we're gonna tighten that thing up. Tight the inner rod. I just use this pipe wrench, the big boys. Just let it clamp in there and then ready tighty. That's good enough. Flat on the rack. There's a flat spot, and then flat on the inner rod. So they lined up. Okay. This is the flat spot and flat spot right there. And then we're gonna bend that washer in between. We're gonna bend that this way. Same thing on the other side. Good old hammer. Alright, I did a little bit of bending on the front here, on the top, and then the back is I'll show you how you do at the back. There's not much room to swing the hammer, so what I do is you grab a extension socket like this. I have 2 in here, extension socket, and you see that hole right there? That hole, you put the extension socket through that hole, going to here, and you hit it with a hammer. You put it to the hole, you aim it to that tab, and then you hit it with the hammer on this side, like that. Make sure you're on the edge of that washer. Ear is bent now, so that's good. Same thing on the top, is bent. It's hard to see. That's how you bent the bottom, through that hole right there. Alright, move on to the next one. Alright, make sure you clean around this rack and pinion housing where the boots goes in. Okay, we're gonna put a clamp on that. Alright, the clamp I'm gonna use is this right here on the outside, and this is the clamp on the inside. Forgot what's this thing called, but I'll look it up and I'll put it in the comments. Basically, there's 3 teeth right here that would catch on each of these holes. See how tight or how wide the diameter of the boot. When you have the right size, this is the tool to crimp it, to lock it in place. This thing is really cool. I believe this is called the CB boot clamp tool. This is the brand I use. Clean the boot so that no grease, and the housing as well, clean it. Slide it in there. Alright, slide the ring on the outer tie rod going in. Make sure that this is the part where you clamp that tool. Make sure it's sticking up. Squeeze that clamp in there. It's not locked yet, but this is what I've done. I put it inside. I kind of just, here's the locking tabs right there. I kind of like push it close, trying to squeeze this clamp to a smaller diameter as much as I can while it's all lined up with the boot to the housing of the steering rack. So that's the best I can do. If I spin this thing, it will spin, but make sure it's lining up upright, because we're gonna lock this in place. Alright, she's good in there. So basically just line the tools, line the clamp. When it's all lined up, I have to put my arm on this side over here and my other arm on that side. Work on that spot, and then should be good. We'll keep turning the wheel to the right, and then this will get squished. When it's squished, we'll put the clamp on. Yeah, that's all the way to the right. That's good. Make sure have the boot sits right on that mark right there. That's where the clamp goes in. See that groove right there? Yeah, that's where you gotta stop and put this ring. Then we're gonna grab this tool. Make sure this is crimp right here. That teeth, make sure that thing is lined up to the hole. Check the band, the clamp band, make sure that it's straight. It's not on the edge of the boot. There you go. That's pretty good. Nothing's gonna go in, nothing's gonna come out. Right. Like I said, we're gonna get the wheel alignment after when this is done. So make sure just snug, you know, the Loctite and I tried to match the old one to a new one. This is the best I can do, and let's put them all back together.